I was sitting with my mother, Caroline Bush Emeny, one day, and she said, Mary, you know, there's such good music here. I really would love to inspire an acoustically excellent facility for the music that's here. And who could help with that?
She went to Bill Gilliland and said, I want to give money to start a performing arts center.
Carol got around to telling us she wanted to give $6 million. Pretty good little number. We have an auditorium now. It's a good auditorium. Still over there. We don't need another auditorium. She said, I think Amarillo should have a world-class, acoustically correct performing arts center.
There was an evaluation of the existing Civic Center auditorium.
Unfortunately, that facility really did not make the orchestra or the ballet or the opera company shine.
It was obvious to everyone to have excellence. It would be a lot better and easier to make a new building.
Most great things, I think, start with a clean sheet of paper because you're not restricted by an existing facility or a certain location.
There was a lot of excitement about having it be a place of excellence. A lot of communities may ask for it, but you have to have the backbone to actually build it. Making halls like this can be quite expensive. And since all the money was raised privately in this community, there was a lot of backbone.
The most money that had ever been raised in this town was $6 million of private money to build the first leg of the Baptist Hospital at the medical center. And we were crazy enough to think we could do $32 or $33 million. Whew. It got so bad that people would see me walking in downtown and hide in alleys.
Mr. Morris, who owned the Globe News at that point, gave the gift that actually got us over the top to let us do it. And our family's never been about names, but they did insist on sort of naming the auditorium for my mom because that was the part of it that she really wanted.
The Globe News Center for the Performing Arts is not only a place that people can come and make fabulous music that can be really well heard by everybody in the audience, but it's also a work of art in itself.
The architect, of course, was Malcolm Holtzman.
The first time they came in, they went hiking in Palo Duro Canyon. And they took photographs. And if you smooth it off, the skyline of our thing, it's exactly the same design. I'm so glad nobody can get to the roof because I could see skateboarders having a blast up there. But, you know, it looks like a piano. It looks like, you know, all kinds of things. But that was the original thing. The second time they came in, they took photographs just of the patterns of the fields. And they digitized that, and that's the patterns that's on the chair covers. They wanted to have an outdoor porch, but they wanted something that could be continuous indoors and outdoors. And they were driving down the ceiling, and one of them, named Nestor, says, "That's it." They pulled into a pull-out area and looked at cattle trucks and said, "That's it." And when they were constructing, it's hilarious, the guy who was the construction supervisor at the time, he said, there's one company that makes that stuff in the country. And the fourth phone call, he said, "Please do not hang up. I really do want 40,000 square feet."
So now we have this beautiful stage to perform opera and, of course, the symphony and the ballet and so forth.
It's hard not to get distracted by all the different textures and the feelings that you get just from being in this space. And when you walk around to the back as a performer and get ready to unpack and come out on stage, it's just a feeling of excellence.
I've performed all over the world and in opera houses and concert hall stages and so forth. And the Amarillo Globe News equals and surpasses what I have been involved with in my career.
Each hall has a unique sound, and each hall has excellence in it in some way or another. Now, this particular hall compares very favorably with some of the best halls that I've been to in the whole world. Whether they're playing amplified rock and roll guitars, whether they're playing a Stradivarius violin, or if they're singing along with a Puccini opera. Each musician wants a different kinds of environments, and this hall can provide all of those. Why is that? Because it has a very special shape. It has wonderful intimacy and resonance. It has this beautiful wood surround that is vented to this upper volume above. There's openings, ports that allow sound to enter this upper acoustic volume and to resonate and come back in. This creates both a brightness, a clarity, a true sound, as well as a warm, rich resonance that envelops you, as well as adjusting banners and baffles that are above the ceiling to create the best possible sound for each type of event. And by moving those and tuning those, we're able to optimize the sound for amplified music as well as symphony, and in between those two extremes for opera. And very few halls have that ability.
We could always invite any artist to come in here and perform and assure them that whatever their interpretation is, whatever they feel like they want to say, this hall will help them get that voice across.
The backdrop for our symphony when they're on stage is a multi-layered shell that projects the music out to the audience. And it's actually movable and really versatile, and it's just a very unique look. Obviously, it's kind of the iconic look of this building. And a lot of people don't know it can be pushed and pulled and put all sorts of places.
This was the first one. I mean, is this pioneer of the shell being able to move back into the garage. We have the luxury of space here, so that we had the space to do that.
Another benefit of this building to our community has been in the educational programming that it provides. We have had so many students who've come in and had their first experiences listening to a symphony orchestra or seeing another artistic event.
When Carol Bush Emeny had the vision to build this performance center, she wanted children to be able to come and be inspired with music and dance and art, with a spirit of excellence. Through Window on a Wider World, we had the opportunity really to inspire the next generation through arts, science, and cultural experiences. Because we are the educational component of this building, we literally started the same day that we opened the Performing Arts Center.
Teachers appreciate the WOW program, and they especially like being able to bring the kids here. You have kids from these little towns who've never seen anything bigger than their little community church, and they come in and look at this. It's like overwhelming, mind-blowing.
The Amarillo Symphony gets to engage with a variety of students throughout the Panhandle of Texas through our Greater Southwest Music Festival, through kinder concerts, symphony kids, and we also have musicians going into independent school districts around here. And we do use Window on a Wider World to help us accomplish those efforts.
Lone Star Ballet has its own academies. We have a number of students across the Panhandle, and we come here to this theater for their performances because it rounds out their instruction and education with regards to the art itself. They get to experience the excitement of a real theater, the great lighting and the great sound, and then we add our costumes to it. It's putting all those things together that make the experience memorable, momentous, a serious part of your life. It's like the old adage, it's not what you're saying, but how you're saying it. And this building allows us more how we're saying it.
One of the programs that we do is our youth art show. Families from all over the Panhandle get to come down and see 4th and 5th graders really show off their artistic talent.
I never would have been able to know that I was good enough to be an artist, and I was never be able to say, I could actually do something. This was a talent, and this was like a gift, and I would have never known that unless WOW had enabled that. This one I did in 5th grade with like the barnyard right there, but I won regionals and then went on to state with this one.
The Globe News Center for the Performing Arts has done more for Amarillo than anything in the artistic field so far.
Communities build facilities like this once every 50 years. maybe once every 100 years. And it's their pride in using a place like this that really counts, because there's a lot of concern. Will it pass the test of time? The Globe News has passed what I would call the initial test of time. People like performing there, and I think that's the real challenge. Do the performers want to come back and be on that stage a second time?
Every performer, I love it. People like that come in and they're so impressed with our hall. I have not heard any performer that has come to the Globe News Center and not been happy with it.
The Globe News Center for the Performing Arts really has given the arts entities a home.
It's very unusual that a town the size of Amarillo has a symphony that's not broke, has a ballet company, and has an opera company. People really can't believe it.
And we want people to come and see the arts. You don't have to come in a tuxedo and a formal gown. You can come in your boots, you can come in your hat. If you take your hat off, I prefer, because you've got people sitting behind you. So I think this building is very important to the arts community as well as the community in general, because it brings us all together. I know it's a building, but there's a tremendous life to it.
There's a huge emotional component when I walk into this building. There's just a whole history that can't be replicated in any other kind of way as the feeling when you come into this building.
It's spectacular for all of us.